That's still kind of jumbled at times.
Yeah, I know that we heard more calls today listening to Alan's show. And I think Alan may have even said something slightly pointed, talking about, again, Coach Christie. And that is just such low-hanging fruit right now to blame the coach, blame the manager. Things aren't going well. I just think that's just so far down the list right now. I think there are a lot of open questions about Coach Christie. Can he be a good NBA coach? I think he's shown a lot of promise. But right now, that is nowhere near the issue. That is just ridiculous. That's not going to fix. If anything, it would make things worse. Okay, now we got another change coming on.
And look, you are free to have your own opinion as a fan. Absolutely. And if you think that is the issue, then that is fine. I would disagree. And I did hear that call. And I did kind of sit back for a second because I think there was also some comparison into how he disappeared in games as a player here, too.
Yeah, and that was really not fair.
And I didn't think that was quite fair.
Yeah.
But again, you fan how you want to fan. But I will say this. It is too early for us and too many issues with the roster that they started with and too many questions still on knowing what's going on with Keon Ellis and what he's being told. Because I have a feeling like if Doug could play him, I have a feeling Doug would put him in more. Now, that's just my kind of like prediction of that. But we don't
feel
know.
The same way,
we don't
yeah.
know enough to say, hey, he's doing all these things and he's the reason for the losses. I don't think that's fair either.
I'll tell you one thing that did irritate me a great deal last night was Keegan only had 12 shots, and down the stretch, yeah, it was a winnable game, but, that's if you're playing, you want to win the game. They didn't win, okay, but when the game's on the line, Keegan wasn't getting a lot of touches down the stretch. And to me, come on. DeMar DeRozan just said this is his team. And he's been playing so well, and he had to steal the ball to get a shot. So that irritated me a little bit.
And I think that's a fair point, Kevin. The only thing that I'll say with that is I thought Keegan played well defensively last night.
He did, yeah.
I think he had his worst game since coming back offensively, and maybe that came into the decision on writing whatever offensive,
Yeah.
But again, defense does create offense with this team in particular. You've seen them play their best basketball when they do that. So I can't fully say that, but, that's a good question. I just know he was a little off in terms of his shot last night.
He didn't make any threes, you're right.
Yeah.
He didn't make any threes. Of course, the bigger issue with the Kings is everything going on with Devlin Carter going in on, going after Zach LaVine at the last game, and he gets thrown out, and that becomes a big story. It's written up in the B, and a lot of people look at Devlin Carter as like a spokesperson, if you will, for fans who are so unsure of what's going on. They're angry, they're frustrated, and I think that speaks to the fact that one of the things the Kings have to do here is while they rebuild the roster, and I don't think you can dispute this. People don't want to hear it, but they're going to have to rebuild the whole relationship with the fan base because a lot of fans right now see what they're doing but are like, yeah, I don't think they can do it. Yeah, all right, I guess that makes sense, but why should I trust this team?
Yeah.
So that's kind of where it is right now.
Why blame them? I mean, people spend their hard-earned money to go to these games, and not everybody has the close-up seats like Devlin Carter does, but he still pays his hard-earned money to go and support this team. And for the most part, he's always supported him. And yes, there are frustrations. And I think he's kind of speaking for much of the fan base with the frustrations in that particular night defensively.
Yeah, I don't know about you. I didn't realize that when he said that, but then you see the reaction like, oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. Okay, maybe we don't get the voice to say it, or we're not down low where we can say that directly. But the response was more so on the side of supporting Devlin Carter about his response.
Thank you for saying it.
Yeah.
For us.
Because this is like the elephant in the room. Like not the elephant in the room, but maybe just we haven't been able to speak it so that they can hear it.
And I thought Coach Christie's reaction to that was very interesting as well. Jason Anderson followed up and asked Coach Christie about that whole back and forth and about the effort level. And Coach Christie said, well, you don't want how you're playing offensively to affect the level of your defensive intensity, which basically is saying, yes, the defensive level from players, and specifically Zach LaVine, has not been what we want.
Yeah, and at times...
So of course fans are going to be angry when the coach
Sure.
basically says, yeah, they need to play harder on defense.
And we know that that's been Doug Christie's message from the get-go. And at times you have seen them play like better defensively. But when it's not consistent, and when it's especially at home, and then you're seeing that, like, not the effort you need, okay, like at some point, I kind of sometimes are like, okay, well, if the fan wants to say it, they can say it.
Mm-hmm.
But
and he was back. He got tossed.
Yeah,
or
he was
asked
back
to leave,
yesterday.
excused, and then he was right back last night. So, a win for him.
I would say so. I mean, at least he was brave enough to say. I mean, I know I wouldn't be able to probably sitting down there, but
everybody was down there saying it though.
Yeah,
that's
it wasn't just him.
Yeah,
like
good point.
It wasn't like he was just the one who. Whatever.
He said it to Zach.
Personally.
It
happened personally. But
it's like right
everybody's
there.
down there.
Yeah.
Don't single him out with that. It sounded.
Well, he kind of singled himself out, and it's
well,
fine,
yeah,
but
he did.
Yeah,
he did. But I think within the question of it is everyone was saying, which is the overall concept of everyone is saying you need to play better defensively. You need to attack a little bit more, and that's what the conversation started with.
Yeah.
Everyone is saying that because you said it's going to be a difficult time for the Kings organization to get some of these fans back, which is wholeheartedly agree.
Mm-hmm.
You just take a look, and a lot of people are like, yeah, you know what? I'm not re-upping the season tickets. I'm not going. I mean, just look at the game last night. That probably was one of the lightest.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell. I tried to look at the crowd during certain shots. I couldn't fully tell how empty it was or how full it was. But
officially 15-9 something, but
okay.
Man, that looked more like an 11.
Yeah.
Okay.
11K in the bank.
Yeah.
I mean, truly, you take a look and you get to see, because again, I always say I watch the Kings on the ticket, on the Game Pass game ticket. So I always get you guys seen it before, where they go to commercial and you get like the in arena, programming. You don't get the commercials
the feed,
and stuff.
the
feed, right? So there you get to see what's going on within the arena. You see Frost and Mo and Scott Moak and all them down there, and the dance team and all that. Man, if that was 15K. Let me tell you right now, if somebody want to pass me a pair of Lynn Crafters, I'm with it. Because that was nowhere near 15K.
Zach LaVine is becoming a symbol of, for many fans, what's wrong with the team. That's not entirely fair, but that's what's happening now.
So I did hear Alan Stiles talking about that in particular in the past. There have obviously been some players that have been the target or the scapegoat for, when things go wrong. I think it's half. I can understand what is going on here though with LaVine, because he's the highest paid player, isn't he? I mean, he's
which when things aren't going well, as you know, on any team, if a team's not playing well, the guy who's getting the most money has a huge target on his back. Yeah.
But there's been some inconsistencies for a while with Zach LaVine, and honestly, I'd almost go back to the Bulls and some of the fans that I've read from their perspective is kind of similar to the frustrations that we're seeing here.
You go back to what Scott Perry said before he was a GM.
Oh yeah, on his podcast.
Yeah, he puts up a lot of numbers, but doesn't necessarily help you win. Oh, okay, yeah.
Didn't he have like a minus 30 yesterday or something? Or some crazy number.
Let's see, Zach LaVine's plus minus. Well, you're exactly right.
I mean, that's why I know that doesn't mean everything, but that means when he is on the floor, he's clearly not helping as much because the other team is outscoring.
He's also seen as a favorite of an owner who is not especially popular with a lot of the fans right now.
Okay.
So, in that sense also is like, oh, well, it's him. And, Zach LaVine also, in my opinion, is a victim of the fact that you have a roster that doesn't fit. And so you've got a lot of guys that they don't look like they know what's going on, and none of them do. But who are you going to single out?
Yeah.
The guy that's making the most money that's supposed to score all the points. And he's never been a very good defender.
No, and especially now on this team when that's the point of emphasis, it's obviously going to stick out like a sore thumb. And it's obviously going to be a scapegoat situation because that's what Doug is preaching he needs. And he's probably one of the players, I'm not going to say the only player, that's maybe not having that effort night to night.
I hope for his sake, as much as anybody else's sake, that they're able to find somewhere that wants him and he can move on, because this is going nowhere for either side now. Here.
It's not. Maybe he can get in a better place where he can find more consistency and fit, and they sure as heck need to be in a place where they don't have him involved because it does not work.
Yeah. And Mark Stein had reported that he phrased it kind of funnily, like, this is what people are saying, but we don't know if it's true. But if Zach LaVine were able to go somewhere where maybe he would take less money next year because he does have the player option, but get more money in the long term. All right, I'll eschew my $49 million if you'll give me, a really healthy salary multi-year going forward.
He's represented again by Clutch.
He is, right, Jay?
Death Row, baby.
Yep, exactly.
Death Row. It's Death Row, the NBA right there.
I'll tell you, they'll get what they want.
It's not like he's going to give anybody a hometown discount or anything.
No.
Should he?
No, he should not.
Just asking.
He should not.
Listen, someone paid him. One of the things I learned very quickly, especially in the entertainment industry, I got good advice. You're worth what someone would pay you.
Yeah.
I mean, someone gave him the deal, and I don't know that many people who would say, $49 million on year 3, now I'm going to pass that up.
Yeah.
Right? So, I mean, you have to it wasn't the Kings that gave him the deal. They accepted the deal. They accepted the terms.
Yeah.
But you can't blame it all on Zach and the former. And I'm not saying you guys are, but
I agree.
though.
I think that's a
sign a deal.
point to make.
You know,
He didn't sign it. He didn't offer himself the money.
No, he didn't. Right.
Yeah.
God, I wish I could do that. Kayla, do you want 49? Yes, right now. And I'm going to sit on my butt and I'm not going to have any effort. Yes, please.
Good luck with that. Let me know how that works out. Yeah. Kyle Draper's going to join us. Drapes Takes are next.